clicked on this video, then you definitely want to quit playing video games. And trust me, I know the reasons why you want to quit video games too. Why? Because I was video gamer myself. Dude, I would sometimes play Minecraft for like genuinely 12 hours a day. Like, you need to imagine my situation. I would wake up at like 7 a.m., not p.m., man, 7 a.m., and then I would not feel like standing up. I would wake up and then I would not want to do anything, not even brush my teeth, eat, nothing. And then I would grab my phone and install Minecraft. And then I would play it. And well, then I would finally get my first iron pickaxe, and then I would farm iron ores and so on. And then it would be like 9 a.m. and my parents, especially my mom, would shout at me because I need to finally have a breakfast. Like my parents, my family overall, wake up quite early and have a breakfast at like 7 a.m. And if I have a breakfast at 9 a.m., then it's really strange for them, and they force me to come down and have a breakfast too. So then I have a breakfast, I come back and play video games again. I keep playing Minecraft, now I'm in Nether, finally man. And then I finally get to the fortune where all the wizard skeletons and the blazes are. I'm about to get my sixth blaze rod, and then my mom screams, "Son, come to the lunch!" And I think, okay, I'm gonna get down, and I have my lunch, go back, and then play, play for so long that I finally managed to achieve my goal to defeat the Ender Dragon in just one day. I made my own speedrun. Yeah, I was really proud of myself. And then, having accomplished this goal, I would kind of actually wake up and realize what I did today. Like, what did I fucking do today, man? I played the entire day Minecraft. I shouted at my mom, didn't talk to my family at all, didn't go outside, didn't take care of my body. I do take care of it now. And I would feel like a piece of shit. And it hurt. But I did it again because I was addicted to video games, dude. I would sometimes wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 p.m., 7 a.m., man. And I wanted to study to prepare myself for that test. However, my addiction was so strong that I would. Hold on a second. Here we go, I think it's much better. And then. Yeah, I didn't prepare for it because my addiction was too strong, and instead I would play Shadow Fight 2. And when I would finally put the final boss, the Titan, I would like finish it 2 hours past my bedtime, and then when I finally realized what I have done, I finished the game. I would look around me. I would see that my brother is sleeping. I saw that nobody gave a fuck about my accomplishment. Nobody gives a fuck when you do something great in video games, actually. Even if people in school, for example, say, "Hey, you're great at Brawl Stars, we are proud of you." Nobody really gives a fuck, man. They would be so much more proud of you. They would pay you so much more respect if you had, for example, bigger muscles. Damn. Thank God I don't play video games. If you would get better grades or would be useful and not just in fucking video games, not in just fun times, but in real life, in the game of life. And one day I finally had enough of it. I finally had enough of all these consequences. I finally saw where my future was about to go, where my life would how my life would look like in the future. And how did I do that? I tried to quit and I actually quit. Here's the proof. I'm not gonna stop showing my bicep, man, and my how do you call it? My forearms. Anyway, I'm actually going to teach you how to quit video games. To be honest, it's not really even your fault that you're addicted to modern day video games. Like, how many people do you know that do not play video games or are actually against it, that are young? I'm not talking about adults. I'm talking about your classmates or friends, your cousins overall. Like 90% of people, especially boys, play video games. Dude, they don't just play video games, they most likely are addicted to TikTok or YouTube and even watch 18 plus content. And it's so fucked up, man. So you're actually you need to be proud of yourself that you actually managed to get to 6 minutes of an unedited video. Good job, man. Number Tip number one, man. Let's just start with it. I journaled because I thought, okay, like I tried to quit it quite many times, but nothing worked. Maybe I just got to dig deeper, and I did it by journaling. First, I journaled about the long term consequences of me playing video games versus the version of me that would not play video games. If I would play video games, I wouldn't have my muscles. Then I probably have horrible social skills, which means that the probability of me having a girlfriend would be worse, or I would get a girlfriend later. My friend zone would be quite small, or I would have no friends at all. Dude, I would, again, I sometimes would just play video games, not even go outside. Would be very miserable. My parents wouldn't be proud of me. I wouldn't be proud of myself. I would die with regrets. My life would look shit, and my kid's life would look horrible too. On the other side, I could instead invest all the time in myself. I could improve my mental health, which I did. I could improve my physical health. Exercise, man. What else? I could improve my grades. I could improve my social skills and get friends. Guess what? I get friends. Like in 2 hours, I'm about to meet my friends. And that's great. I don't have a girlfriend yet, but I'm gonna get sooner than the version of me that would still play video games. And long term, my family would be proud of me, my parents, my kids, and my future wife, and especially me, myself. And when I thought about it, I thought like, dude, would I rather play video games instead of playing the game of life, instead of improving myself, instead of working on my right bicep, instead of becoming better so that in the future I'm actually proud of myself? Like, dude, like, just think about that. You tried to quit video games like several times, and when you realize it, like, the fact that you fucking tried to quit that addiction several times tells you that you actually want to quit it because you're miserable. Would your life be miserable if you wouldn't play video games? Probably not. Like, man, I'm on the other side. Like I'm that man who works on himself, and I'm way happier. You will be too. And so when I had that realization, I started to honestly cry because I just saw how much I fucked up myself and how much potential was lost and how much work needed to be done. And then I journaled again about the situations when I actually, and by the way, journal everything, like journal about these two scenarios until you actually cry, man. And again, number two, the second thing that I journaled on were the situations when I returned to those bad habits. Like, okay, yesterday I played video games. Why? What state of mind have I been in? Was I lonely? Was I bored? Was I miserable? What was the reason? And then I would like list all the situations when I would most commonly play video games. And then I would say, okay, so almost every time I'm bored or I feel lonely, I would play video games in order to switch my focus from my misery to video games, and video games are fun. Yay. But then I saw, okay, I don't want to play video games, and I can do that by actually doing something else in those situations. And you might ask me right now, okay, so do I do nothing? Like, if I want, like, do I need to just quit video games if I want to quit video games? The answer is no. Why? Because our brain can't understand negative concepts. Like, when I say to you, do not visualize a pink elephant, guess what? You just visualized a pink elephant. Why? Because your brain does not understand negative things. So if you say, don't play video games, your brain is like, okay, what do I do instead of it? Like, do I just sit there and stare at the wall and pretend that I feel good? What do I do instead? You gotta replace that bad habit. So every time I would feel lonely, I would go outside. Every time, or for example, have a phone call with my friend. Every time I was bored, well, again, actually, let's talk about misery first. Every time I would feel miserable, I would. Actually, every time I would feel miserable, bored, or lonely, I would return to another habit. Watching YouTube. Now you might ask me, okay, so instead of doing a bad habit, being watching YouTube, you would do another bad habit, which is no. Instead of doing a bad habit called video games, you would watch YouTube. Like, it's still a bit bad addiction, bad habit. But why do you do that? The thing is that before I would be addicted to video games and to YouTube. Now I'm addicted just to YouTube. And then I actually quit YouTube itself. And quitting YouTube is actually way easier than quitting video games. And therefore, instead of having two addictions, I had one quite strong and then I got rid of that one. How? Okay, let's assume you did this thing that I did, and instead of playing video games, you would always, when you have the urge to play video games, you would watch YouTube instead. Then, when you quit your video games addiction, you're addicted to YouTube, it's still an addiction, but this time, instead of watching YouTube videos on your phone, you watch them on your laptop and you plan which videos you actually watch. So every time you, for example, want to see the new YouTube Mr. Beast video, you say, okay, tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm going to watch a Mr. Beast video. And then you watch it. And in order for you to not watch another one or even one more, you need to install some Chrome extensions that allow you not to see the thumbnails of other creators or the comments or everything else that might trigger you to watch another video. So download Unhook and this video changed my life from Hamza, where he talks about those Chrome extensions. watch this video. It's really helpful. Install all these Chrome extensions, and from now on you don't watch YouTube on your phone at all. Instead, you just watch it on your laptop. And by the way, I would sometimes watch YouTube until the evening because my urge to play video games was very high. So yeah, the most important thing is that you do not play video games. Even if you do relapse and actually play video games, then you need to journal, reflect on yourself, and make sure that you don't play another time. Don't play 2 times in a row. It's not that bad to relapse once. It's bad to relapse twice in a row. Don't you ever relapse twice in a row. Don't. And then, say, kind of tip number 2 is to improve your mental health. Why? Because your addictions are actually symptoms of poor mental health. Think about it. If you had a girlfriend, if you had friends, if you had a good life, you would never ever play video games. Like, why? Why would you play video games? If you could instead talk to your friends, have fun, or spend time with your girl. Why? And you can improve your mental health by, for example, having a gratitude journal where you write down all the things that you are grateful for. And then by meditating or doing exercise. Dude, watch Mental Health Guide from Hamza. It really helped me. And will definitely help you too. And then don't spend that much time at home. Go outside more often. Meet your friends, your classmates more often, because when you go outside, you just do not have the ability to play video games at all. And by spending time with other people, your mental health your mental health will actually improve, because you will not feel lonely, and you will feel excited and think, man, I'll rather spend time with friends than with video games. Okay? Don't 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 be at home so often. Be more times outside. And then change your identity. Instead of saying I want to quit video games, you gotta say I do not play video games. I don't. Video games is not my thing. Okay? You don't try to quit. You don't do that. You quit already. Because there is no single point where you can actually say, I quit. It's whether you quit right now or you never quit. So quit right now. Don't say, I try to quit video games, but say, I quit video games. Okay, what about the urge? Every time you have the urge to play video games, you need to first actually visualize doing that. Every time when I'm ill and I do sometimes get urges to play video games, I visualize myself playing Minecraft, playing all this bullshit, and then imagine myself doing it for hours, and then I think, dude, I beat the Ender Dragon, but what do I do now? I've wasted my time, I return to that bad habit. And then, when I have that realization that if I play video games, I will feel good at the beginning, but I will feel like a piece of shit a few hours later, then I unconsciously lose the interest to play video games, because I see that I don't really find it funny. And then you think of, again, that journaling session. Do I really want to do that? Would I rather play video games right now and return to that bad habit? Or would I rather be a man of God, work on my right bicycle just like Vasile, and actually have a better life, not be miserable, than if I play video games? It's your choice. Deinstall all your video games, man. They have no benefit for you. Check my video description descriptions. If you have questions, please write them down in the comments. I will answer them. And even if you have problems, I'm actually gonna give you a free coaching call where I'm going to help you to beat that addiction and quit playing video games just like me. Do the things you'll be proud of doing tomorrow.